Hello guys, welcome to Position Based Trading official YouTube channel. Now if today is your first time joining or watching a video from this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button right on the side of your screen so that you get notified anytime we drop any video like this. Now today we are going to do a very short brief we're going to teach something very briefly on high probability sensitive zones, or how to identify high probability patterns forming, and then how to refine entries to pick out trades. Now we are going to take just 2 examples for this, and then after that you can go on and backtest this and then go through it over and over anytime you see these patterns forming and see how they play out. Now I don't want to go through the whole content of uh, of sensitive zones in the market, or PD arrays, or whatever some people call it, various names for it in the market. Okay, demand and supply zones or whatnot. So I'm just going to make it as brief as possible and as very comprehensive as possible. Now, one of the main, and I'm going to talk about just one aspect of identifying high sensitive probability zones in the market. There are a lot of other aspects. I'm just going to tackle just one aspect of it. Okay. Now, anytime you have price making equal highs, just like we have here. So we have equal highs here. Price has made quick equal highs here. Now, so let's say somewhere in the past there's a high here, and there's maybe a sensitive zone above these equal highs. Now, anytime you have price making a quick push through equal highs, like this instance here, and vice versa for equal lows into this zone, breaking the equal highs here. Now that gives us a huge indication of what the market is trying to do. Obviously they are down money here, sellers selling here at equal highs, and buyers expecting equal highs to be broken above for price to continue above. Okay, so there's obviously down money sitting around here waiting for price to just liquidate. Okay, there are others here waiting for price to just liquidate. So anytime we have price pushing to equal highs here like this into a sensitive zone like that, and that gives us a very high possibility that this zone here is going to be a zone that will hold price lower. Now that is one of the high sensitive or high probability sensitive zones you can identify in the market. That's one of the ways of identifying high probability sensitive zones in the market. Okay, now to have price making this scenario we have here, most often you will see price pushing through these highs, these equal highs, with very aggressive energy, or with some certain rapid aggressiveness or whatnot. You see price pushing through it very aggressively, and most often than not this gives us a higher probability setup here. Okay, now this could be in any time frame. Okay, now how do we factor this into our trading? As a trader, when you have this happening, price pushing into, let's say maybe this is 15 minutes, right? So if you have price pushing into maybe some sort of OB, or maybe fair value gap, or whatever, Fiji, etc. So what you do as a trader is it, so now price has reached preferred zone. What you do is you wait for a reaction. Now If you get a reaction here in a higher time frame, let's say a 4 hourly time frame, now what you do is, if you can't take a trade in a 4 hourly time frame, and it comes down to the type of trader you have. Okay, if you're a day trader, if you're an intraday trader, you obviously wouldn't want to take a trade in a higher time frame or 4 hourly time frame. It also depends on your risk appetite, how much you can risk per trade. Okay, now for us in position based trading, we take note of very low risk and very high rewards. So for us in precision based trading, we would want to refine this sensitive zone into a much lower time frame to give us a very low risk trade. We want to risk as little as possible on this trade. So what we do is that, if you find that this pattern has formed, price has rapidly pushed to equal highs into a zone, we will define our end, we will refine our zone here into a lower time frame, and then look for possible scenarios in the lower time frame. Now, one of the ways, one of the things I look out for anytime I refine entry is BOS in structure, or a structure and then break of structure. Okay, in this lower time frame here, you could have price making this one. Okay, we are going higher, so you could have price doing this one, two, three, 4, 5, then breaking structure here in the sensitive zone you marked. Now once you have this happen in the zone, it is quickly a no-brainer. It is telling you that price has broken structure in lower time frame in the zone that you've marked in the higher time frame. So you marked this zone in maybe 1 hour time frame, it came down to 15 minutes time frame, or 5 minutes, or 3 minutes time frame, and then you saw that there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a breaking structure in the preferred zone that you marked, in the preferred sensitive zone you marked in higher time frame. You're not going to go into market structure. I've taught that already in our YouTube videos. If you haven't watched it, you can just go to our YouTube videos. We have an insight or into understanding market structure, so you can go through that and then grab that. So you've noted a high sensitive or high probability sensitive zone. Price has pushed to equal lows into your high sensitive probability zone. You should lower time frame a notch lower, or maybe very low. Now you have to lower the time frame until you find something interesting. So you found this probability zone, the high probability zone, in maybe 4 hourly time frame. You come down to 1 hour, you don't see anything. You go down to 30 minutes, you don't see anything. You come down to 15 minutes, you don't see anything. You come down to 5 minutes and you see something. That is what you work with. Okay, so you lower that, you keep refining the zone until you find out something interesting you can work around, or you can work with. All right, so in 15 minutes, in 5 minutes, we find this break of structure here, and then price comes lower. Now if price pulls back here, once again, I'm not going to go into trading with market structure. We know what happens here. We look for premium zones above here. Let me zoom in on it. We look for a premium zone here, a premium sensitive zone here, and then we look for a trade here lower to pick out our entry lower. Okay, now the same thing applies to when we have let's say price pushing through equal lows. It's pretty much vice versa. I don't know if I have to go to all that. So let's say in the past we had a zone here, so price pushed through equal lows. We have equal lows here into our sensitive zone here. Okay, and then again, so for this instance here, we are going to be looking out for again structure in the zone in lower time frame 2, 3, and then breaking structure here, and then pull back to a sensitive zone in the lower time frame. Okay, so let's say we have So price pulls back into a discount zone. This time we have a discount zone here, and then we have our entry above going high. So this is how to identify these patterns. Now I want us to look at just two examples in the market, and then you can backtest this, like I said, subsequently, and then you find out a few for yourself. Okay, now this is a trade I'm currently in. So in 50 minutes time frame, you have price breaking equal highs. So you can see price clearly breaking equal highs here. So you see price rapidly broke through this equal highs into this zone. To these zones here. So I noticed these zones here as highly sensitive zones because they are coming right after equal highs. So when the zone is coming right after an equal high or an equal low, now it makes that zone a very highly probable zone. And you pay attention to these zones. Once price gets there, look at reaction and what is happening in those zones. So price makes it above this equal highs into this zone in 15 minutes time frame. Now what do I do as a trader? As a trader, this is telling me about a pattern. This is telling me that smart money traders are making waves here. That money has been taken here because there will obviously be a lot of traders who will be in a sell from here, expecting price to bounce off these two highs here, and they will be in the sell somewhere here. Other traders will expect that once price breaks above these highs, price will continue going higher. So they will be expecting price to break above the high, so they'll put buy orders here, and other term money traders will put sell orders here, and price would have liquidated both ways. But the smart money traders, we know that this is a pattern that is telling us a story. Okay, it's telling us that smart money traders are in play over here. Okay, so we look out for price breaking these equal highs here, taking these two equal highs here. So one, then two. So price breaks those equal highs into the zone, into our sensitive zone here, and then this is in 15 minutes time frame. We don't have, like I'm saying, we don't have any reason to want to take a trade from 15 minutes time frame. You have to lower the time frame to a lower time frame. Refine entry to look out for the pattern, market structure pattern, and use it to take this trade. So we are going to go down to first to 5 minutes time frame to see what we have in 5 minutes. Okay, so we are in 5 minutes time frame. Now it is okay. So now I want to go another notch to, let's say, 3 minutes time frame in the zone here. Okay, good. So this is our zone we marked. This is a zone. Price moved into the zone. Okay, so prior to price reaching the zone, you could see price was making higher highs and higher lows. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at this point, you could see price fail to make a new high. And then ultimately came down to break the old low here. So we have our market structure pattern here. Price has broken structure. We have a BOS here. And then there's a pullback into structure. Pullback into this other block stroke. Other block stroke to WIMP candle here. I have a video on the WIMP candles as well. You can go on and check that out on YouTube as well. So price pulls back, break structure here, pulls back into premium zones for this other block here. And then at that point, you have a high probability sell all the way down. I don't want to go into the rest. It's a very long trade, so but up to this point, if you're trading intraday, this is a quick back you could secure from this trade. 1, 2, 3, 4. Broke structure, back into structure, picked out entry nicely, and then there's a beautiful one. So this is an example of how to use the pattern, identifying high probability zones using equal lows and equal highs, and then refining entries, and then looking out for market structure pattern, break of market structure for entries. Now let's look at another example here in CADJPY quickly. So again in CADJPY, this time we didn't have price moving into necessarily into a high sensitive zone, but we have the pattern forming after equal low sweep. So price broke out equal lows again here, took out equal lows, 1, 2, and then came down here. This time we didn't get price making it into a sensitive zone here, but the fact that price has swept equal lows rapidly, that should give you an indication about what is happening in the market. Okay, so even if you don't necessarily have price moving into a sensitive zone and you have the pattern forming after equal low sweep, then it should give you something. So price quickly, you see how rapid this happened. 3, 4 candles, boom, boom, very huge candles. So if you see price rapidly breaking to equal lows here, I should indicate something to you. Now what happened next? Price swept equal lows here, and then there was a little bit of resistance here. Now if you mark this zone here and you go to lower time frame, so let's say 5 minutes, let's look at 5 minutes for start. Okay, so we have something in 5 minutes, alright, but I want us to go to 3 minutes. It will be a lot more clearer in 3 minutes. So good. So we marked, this is the zone we marked in 1 hour. So this is a zone after the sweep. Okay, we saw resistance in that zone, so we marked that zone up. Then you could see price in that pattern again. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have price breaking structure here at this point, and then pulling back to this other block here, this HOB here. You know what HOBs are? For those in my mentorship, I'm sure you're conversant with that. So price moved into this HOB here and then picked up a nice entry, went all the way up. So you could have put a very low risk trade here, all the way up. Okay, so this is another example. There are lots more examples. I want you guys to backtest this yourself, and then let me know what you find out. Okay, so these are one of the two. This is the Euro CAD trade I'm currently in. This is the Euro CAD trade I'm currently in. Okay, so this is just how to identify high probability sensitive zones using equal lows and equal high sweep, and then refining entries, refining zones to get entries using market structure, and then finding very low risk entries to take advantage of. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, if you have learned anything, let me know in the comment section. If there is any comments you want to make about it, let me know in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel once more, kindly make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap on that bell on the side and get notified anytime we drop a video like this. Once more, thanks for watching. I'll see you.